Falafala atu hanei e tau walatala tutupu ke lata mai leo taong niwe ke hanei. Kua tuk whenonga tua e mdakau haniwe ke wa tuki he tau whewa Commonwealth Games ke mdakau viko Glasgow ke mutu ko Scotland. Kua mdakau viko muene kua tuk whenonga tua he ahong mataha. Kua mdakau olu whapolo Lone Bowls kua tahi whahitapa he wa tuki whakako mpele ki Aklana. Kua mdakau whanawhana ni tuk whenonga tolo tolu ke ahong malimia yulai. Moe koe whalu hai tau mdakau ne toi. Kua tuk whenonga atu hea whleile ke o atu au loa he aho tapu. Longona mai kua whakataka mai e laulahi mdakau mai Nisilani ke aho tapu o atu ai hala ki Sydney, ki Dubai, to hohoko atu ki Scotland. Kua hai ei whoki e whaladole kua kiki ke latai mai mdakau whanawhana e ke he motu nā ku Nisilani mai whai mga aho he liu whakatokataka halo tō sikes mto papa to mai ke tuk whenonga atu ai hea hongo fōi niawhi. Kua amana ki anga tō hoku atu o silo tō ki Glasgow tō kamate tō whetoko Commonwealth Games ke hao ua fumatori a Yulai ke hoko ke hao tori ao kuso. Kua hukui ai niwe ke tō whewa athletics, olu whapolo mamafa koe lawn bowls, whanawhana mai langa ki lapatoa mamafa koe weightlifting. Ko mana ia fruala halamahanga ke tau lanu kehe ke latu mai aho whakatata he maanga ke ha whaiumu i ko mole atu te alangia e matalaa ke toko longa tu tangata kwa hoku atu ki mga hupungpungi ke lata mai tau whakaholoang he aho ko puke nā me male ke he tau whale whakafua koloa ne whakatutu he to tangata talahau he tahu kui he whano tik maanga ko lahi e maanga ko alufitonga ni mua te lahi whoki e tokolong e tu tangata motu kehe ko mai ke ala tolu ke whakakise whoki ke halu tolo matapatu manatu mai aho ke lata me tau siwise ke tau launu kehe ke tangaloa. Ke sea long e tau fue punua ko whakatokatoka ke sivi ke he whale laa sea lahi si pihia whoki me tau kai tahi ni ko whakatata. Koe tau koloanga hoa lim he tau whiwhene ko whakatokatoka longa la he tau ie pili tau si vai tau he whilulunga sea wali me whalu kola whoki longa whoki tau koloa talatalai he tau matuatane. Ka koe tau kōri whakatātāne ko mahui ngalahi ki he tau tangata kona no whewhuke kiskese hawhangi e te whanau mai hea onga whakaako kōri koe kōri mai a tō whai whakatātā whoki mai te whuata he maanga koe mutakau leviatana nā kai nim whoki te whanau ki iki ha aliutu mu tau kōri niwe mu tau kōri mai he motu tonga koe whakaholoanga sivi hei he tau matu whiwhene koe kehe mo lahi whoki furuala ka koe wheua lip sync ne kua whakakehea ke tau whakaholoanga tau nei koe maho mo atu e tau whakaholoanga lufitonga whakausi ai halo tōlu e te whakawhia ke hao nei mai wheua ta kai he mtahala taha mai tuwhatuwhaanga he te palepali ke mtahala ono hea whiawhi. Whakalawhala hea to you listening into Radio Sunshine's news bulletin for today. Team Niuean are finally on their way to Glasgow, Scotland after months of training and preparation. The first team left the island on the 11th of July was the Lawn Bowls team, who spent a week in Auckland, New Zealand, practicing. Last week, Tuesday, the shooting team left, and the remaining athletes and officials left on Friday in transit for a day before leaving New Zealand on Sunday afternoon en route through Sydney to Dubai and then on to Scotland. Unfortunately, the shooting team encountered a few problems in New Zealand, so they spent an extra day in New Zealand with one of the Niuean officials to sort out paperwork. Sources say that the 10-strong shooting team and official left New Zealand yesterday and should join the team in Glasgow in time for the game's official opening on the 23rd of July until the 3rd of August. Niuean is competing in athletics, lawn bowls, shooting and weightlifting. Halamahanga was covered by an array of colours as the village of Alofi South embraced the colours of the rainbow and display of community spirit for their annual show day on Saturday. The school grounds were covered with stalls set up by residents with all sorts of food and products from sweet desserts, food, barbecues, raffles, drinks and food galore. There were all sorts of different types. Alofi South is not only the biggest village on the island, it also has the most different ethnic groups that can be incorporated into the theme for the day of rainbow colours, symbolic of the colourful people that make up the multicultural community of Alofi South. In the entertainment, the women took to the stage to model some of their hay creations that showed off their creativity. The Leviatana youth performed some of their well-known dances, while the Kolimaya dance group showcased the female dancers. The youngsters of Aliutu also wowed the crowds with their confidence in Niuean performances. In the lip sync competition. The crowds were entertained with groups and individual performances to some of the latest hits, with a rare and delightful performance from a Madonna impersonator who threw in a few cartwheels to what was an energetic performance. A wonderful and eventful show day from Malofi South, who round off their celebrations with a takai this afternoon, as well as a prize-giving ceremony and feed at the hall this afternoon. Looking at our news stories from the region, after waiting for almost 50 years, Nauru Phosphate owners have received royalties from the Nauru Phosphate Royalties Trust. The first batch of $20 million payout was made in April to May this year, said a statement from NPRT. An additional 60 million Australian dollars was made last month. The Wagga government has committed that over the time the government under its administration will continue to repay the total amount taken by previous governments directly to landowners. Each landowner will have access online to a statement showing the running balance and all payments by government. The Wagga government has commissioned an online portal that will provide historical information and reports showing land holdings, run income, run capital and government debt for all individual beneficiaries. The Pacific Network on Globalization has expressed concern that the government of Fiji has announced its decision to ratify the Interim Economic Partnership Agreement. The decision comes even though Fiji is fully aware of the contentious toxic issues contained within the IEPA, such as export taxes, the absence of a development component, and its potential impact on Fiji's ambitions and aspirations to express its economic self-determination. Pang has always argued that the Economic Partnership Agreement is against the fundamental self-determining development ambitions of island countries of the PACPs. Penjueli said Fiji's decision to ratify may also affect the regional ambition of progressing comprehensive EPA negotiations, as it looks like Europe may have gotten what it wants from the region, which is the two large economies, PNG and Fiji. The Cook Islands Democratic Party says the election count was inaccurate and it would challenge the result. According to official results, the Cook Islands Party won an outright majority with 13 seats in the 24-member parliament. The Democratic Party won 8, but its leader, Wilkie Rasmussen, lost his seat to Willie John. The One Cook Islands movement has won 2 seats and 1 seat is tied, and the president of the Democratic Party, Sean Willis, says the vote count was mishandled. Willis says launching a petition costs about $5,000 and the party will have to decide in which electorates it can afford to challenge. Fiji Labour Party leader Mahendra Chaudhry's appeal hearing has been confirmed for August. The hearing starts on 7th of August after written submissions from both parties are filed in court. Chaudhry's on 30th July and the state on 6th of August. The case will be called for mention on the 28th of July. Meanwhile, Fiji's Commissioner of Police, Major General Ben Grunewald, says police presence in political party gatherings is not to intimidate the public, but to uphold law and order. Commissioner Grunewald said all police officers are political and urged political parties to leave police alone in their campaigns. 12 years ago, a regional AIDS conference took place in Melbourne. At the time, concerns were growing about the impact of AIDS on global security. There were dire forecasts that we were facing a global pandemic. The conference was part of a number of international initiatives, a resolution by the Security Council in 2000, the first special meeting on AIDS of the UN General Assembly in 2001, the initiation by President George W. Bush of major funding for international AIDS programs. 3 interconnected reasons make Melbourne a good place to host a conversation about rejecting complacency. This is an epidemic that kills more than 1 million people a year. Australia offers a safe political space in which people who are vulnerable because of their identities or behaviours can speak freely. Australia is, though, with declining commitment, a significant donor of development assistance, and while Melbourne is far away, if one assumes a North Atlantic-centric view of the world, it is a perfect location for the 3 southern continents to meet and speak to each other. The current goals make specific reference to AIDS along with malaria and tuberculosis, and UNAIDS, the lead agency involved, is asking for an explicit commitment to ending AIDS by 2030 in the new statement. And the Samoan Prime Minister Tuilaipa Sailele Malielegaoi has confirmed that All Blacks will play Manu Samoa in Apia on Wednesday, July the 8th next year. Tuilaipa, who is also chairman of the Samoa Rugby Union, said on his weekly radio program that he had received a letter of confirmation from New Zealand Rugby. He says Apia Park will be refurbished and needs a lot of work before the arrival of the world champions. Tuilaipa says China has been approached for assistance to carry out an upgrade of the playing field and stadium. The match would be the first between the two nations in Samoa. The Apia match will be just a few days after the scheduled final of Super Rugby and a week before the opening match of the Rugby Championship. Those are our news stories from the region as well as our local news bulletin here on Radio Sunshine for today.